really have no idea where we are.
Episode 1. It takes a long time to get from one side of the world to the other, like an entire day long. Anyway, first world problems. A bit of backstory. 6 months ago, we decided we wanted to travel as far as we could to as different a place as possible, and ride motorcycles there. This is the story of how we did that. We'd been riding motorcycles for almost a year now, so we were basically experts. What could go wrong?
I think that's us. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just landed on
Vietnam.
When you deplane in Saigon, grab yourself a SIM card, exchange your currency for what will feel like a small fortune in dong, and attempt to escape the airport. Nothing can quite prepare you for what you're about to experience, so brace yourself.
What are you getting right now? I don't have the slightest idea.
Arriving in the middle of the night in a foreign country, we had no idea what to expect.
Looks like your shrimp jerky with a nice, sweet, very spicy sauce.
We dropped our bags at an Airbnb in the backpacker district and went on a search for food. We found 24-hour stores open and a few street vendors with an assortment of, well, mystery snacks.
So much flavor. That had a cheese-like substance in the middle of it.
It was already 2 a.m., so we decided to call it a night and return to our Airbnb, as we'd been up for well over a day now. Enough said. As always, first order of business, coffee. We found the difficult-to-locate workshop for basically a taste of home.
Found the Vietnamese barista parlor.
As nice as it was to have our introduction to this country be in the westernized tourist district, that was not at all what we had come here for, and we were eager to get further outside our comfort zone. After all, we had come here for adventure. Not a third-wave coffee shop with all the trappings of home and an extra friendly and attentive service staff.
This is great.
Saigon is overwhelming in the best kind of way. Stepping out into the heat, the scents in the air, it takes your breath away.
I could not imagine a better thing to wake up to. Motorbikes zipping by, the city's absolutely electric.
It's not really like anything, is it?
No, it's not like anything I've ever experienced before. It's a big mishmash of a bunch of incredible cities I've been to. Got a pair of brand new Ray-Bans for only 100,000 dong. About $5.
Gonna spray paint those and then scrape the paint off?
Exactly, do Casey Neistat style.
There are many reasons to get outside the tourist district. Relentless street vendors, Western tourists with cameras on every street corner. Oh, and safety note, you'll find Saigon to be the least pedestrian-friendly city ever. So when crossing the road, just go for it. Step slowly and people will, weave around you. It's crazy, but somehow it works.
I mean, you feel like you're going to get hit, but it just never happens.
Once far enough outside the central Saigon districts, the pace changes up quite a bit. We walked a few miles until we felt sufficiently lost and didn't hear any English speakers or see any tourists. Then picked a random place for some soup.
Soup noodles. One of the most interesting interactions yet.
The dog?
Yeah, that dog, that tops the list.
Everyone knows Vietnam is synonymous with pho. What we didn't know were how many different variations and tastes we'd encounter at every different stop.
Ooh, I've never had anything like that.
Between everyone's favorite travel show host raving about this country and our growing obsession with pho back in the States, we had no reservations about placing Vietnam at the top of our travel list.
There's nothing like eating in an alley. Someone's chopping meat right beside you. It's sitting on tiny stools. That's true, we came in on maybe loop around the block. It's hot, right? It's very hot. It's hot, it's humid, the sun's beating down, the streets are crowded, the bikes are zipping by, the food smells good. There's a little bit of incense in the air, and I've never seen so many damn motorbikes in my entire life. Seen a place like this?
As is well known with the Vietnamese rule of coconuts, if one sees a coconut, one must stop and drink said coconut. Actually, I just made that up, but still, how can you not?
That's great. Didn't have anything else except they sell at Whole Foods.
The further we got into the unknown, the friendlier and more hospitable the people were, which goes to confirm my belief that the further you travel, the more you will find that people are not what you expect. They are always better.
That was the best bite yet.
Tennessee.
Huh?
Oh, Tennessee. My relative in California.
Down each street and alley as the city unfolds itself around you, you can't help but be taken by its vibrance. The heart and personality of the city are rich, and you can begin to see how this place is steeped in its ancient history and traditions, and yet its modern charms and youthfulness are ever present and growing. Just to walk around the city and observe its people going about their day is a mesmerizing experience that you could get caught up in for days, weeks, months if you're lucky. Such a disarmingly friendly people. You won't believe the genuinely warm welcome you'll receive at every turn.
Haven't even been here 24 hours and it feels like we've been here 3 days.
Beautiful, busy Bintan market.
Some tourist traps become such for good reason. And when in Saigon, it would be a mistake to miss the Bintan market. Come for food, for souvenirs, or just the people.
Hi! Happy New Year!
Top of the list on our culinary quest was the banh mi, sandwich of the gods. Not exactly the easiest to find everywhere, but definitely always worth the search. Barbecue pork, veggies, magi, mayo, it all comes together in a way that, when done right, well, there's nothing quite like it.
Hey!
Banh mi. How does this stack up to Kenya in the Saigon? Boys. How is it? It is excellent. Flaky baguette, ginger pork, nice sweet spicy sauce.
Honestly, the experience of eating food in country, you can't get that anywhere else. It just doesn't taste the same.
Oh man, it's like sweetened rocket fuel. The hot one.
Coming here in the dead of winter, the heat and humidity is welcome but jarring. The only logical solution is iced coffee followed by more iced coffee. And that was a routine we kept on repeat every day. Ho Chi Minh City is absolutely huge. I mean, it's massive. 8.5 million people, 7.5 million motorbikes, and this dog. We had about 4 days total here and felt as though it was barely enough to scratch the surface. So before we get to the part with the motorcycles and all the other backcountry adventure we came here for, let's recap why we absolutely love this city. Matthew and I had set out 6 months earlier to create the trip of a lifetime. He'd been to Europe and Africa earlier in the year, and I'd wandered around Europe and trekked solo across Iceland, and we were ready for more. So we settled on the exact opposite side of the world, Vietnam. After a few days here, we knew for sure this was the trip of a lifetime we'd been dreaming of. This city had fulfilled all our hopes and expectations. It was the perfect blend of culture and chaos, and it was only going to get better from here. After a few days on foot, we were ready now to combine our love of travel with our love of motos. As has been my experience in a few countries now, if you pick a good vehicle rental company, they are often exceedingly accommodating and will take the time to make sure you know where to go.
Gotcha.
Other than that, it should just pretty much work.
Okay.
They helped us by highlighting the best ride routes, and they were absolutely right with the areas they pointed out.
So Ho Chi Minh, you go Nam Cát Tiên National Park and National Park to Đà Lạt, and from Đà Lạt you go to Hội An. You can do either two-way, the causeway or the inland way.
We're thinking about going to a train and then taking the train up.
This is a nice ride. From here to here is nice. This is nice.
Then they went on to go over the often comical rules of the road. And I'm not sure how much of this could get someone in trouble, but they covered the procedure for bribing and fooling the police.
Don't make mistake.
While it wasn't something we ever had to deal with, it was definitely worth knowing.
Make sure you separate $200,000 in different pockets to pay them. Don't let them see the rest of money.
And now, after a few hours of prep at Ticket, we were completely ready to brave the streets of Saigon and the ever so slightly chaotic traffic at rush hour. No cameras were used while riding our first day, just to be on the safe side, but that's what the next episodes are all about.
Finally got our bikes. Just got our first 15-minute ride in. What do you think?
It is far easier than I imagined. You get out there and a sense of calm.